welcome along to UK theme parks, and yes, it is the closed season. It is indeed the closed season. Regardless of the fact that we're in lockdown, we would still be in the closed season. However, some of the parks have obviously closed early. A place like Poulton, Chesington, and even certain weekends at Alton Towers were due to be open. Now, we do have Alton Towers Gardens opening this weekend. Not entirely sure whether or not they should be, but they'll be opening this weekend. But of course, 2021. Now then, there are a lot of projects for 2021. A lot that we're really looking forward to as well. David Walliams Land, we talk about Alton Towers, we talk about Chesington and the Croc Drop and the Blue Barnacle, we talk about the Flying Theatre at Legoland. There's something coming to a lot of the parks for next year, but that's not something we're going to discuss yet, because there's going to be things still announced and parks are still going to make decisions over the closed season, particularly based on what happens in the world as to whether or not they're going to invest for next year. Now, there is actually one project which has kind of been overlooked for the year, and that will be Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Valhalla closed at the end of last season, 2019. Before we knew about the pandemic, it was due to be shut in 2020, and indeed it was. Big boards have been erected outside, and we did show you from the park as well only a couple of weeks ago when we went for Halloween the progress in which they're making. And you could see as well that the station was definitely being extended. There was works going on in the station area, but of course we can't see inside. Reimagining it was for 2021 next year. We've had sad news today that has been delayed. So this poster here, which you see here, is the poster that has been released to say that Valhalla is indeed not coming now till 2022. That is the proposed opening for it. Now, this is a massive project for Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I don't think it should be underestimated either. When we talked about the ride earlier on in the season, we talked about the fact that it cost £1 million a year to run. So even having it shut this year probably pays for a lot of the refurbishment itself. However, we don't know how much is being refurbished. We don't know whether or not they're refurbishing existing scenes, whether they can completely change it and go ahead with completely new scenes. We just don't know. All we can see is what's happening outside. Now, we could see what's happening outside, and it does look like they are making progress, 100% making progress. But we're not going to know. We're not going to know. What will it look like in 2021? Well, we can tell you that it will still be boarded up. It will indeed still have the fence around it. And maybe we'll get an indication of what's happening outside. Perhaps that is work that will be done first. But we just don't know. We just don't know. Now, have you heard this news? Were you aware? And were you looking forward to Valhalla opening in 2021? We definitely were. Massive anniversary for the park. It is going to miss it, sadly. However, we do have our first confirmation of an attraction for 2022. Don't know if that's good or bad, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know whether that's good or bad. Of course, Valhalla is an existing attraction. We do understand that it's a re-theme, reimagining of it. It's not going to change in terms of name or anything. However, what do you think? Genuinely, what do you think now to this announcement, and what do you think are the changes? Do you think the changes are that big that they've had to delay it a year, or do you think it's the pandemic which has kind of stopped construction and changes to the park? But Valhalla Blackpool Pleasure Beach will not be opening in 2021. No news from Blackpool whether or not there will be any new attractions opening in 2021 or how they're going to play it, but Valhalla has been delayed till 2022. It's a shame. It is a real shame. However, we do feel it will be worth it. Valhalla was a top dark attraction, top water ride, voted best in the world many times over in its prime, and then less so in its prime, to be fair. It's a lovely building. It's got a good track system. It's got some lovely show scenes that could really be put in. We could see something really special. We're just going to have to wait another year for it. Thanks for joining us here on UK Theme Parks. Stay safe during lockdown. We'll see you next time.